Hello, I'm Dr. Terry Starz, and I'd like to welcome you here at the lovely Frick Park to a Fit with a Physician walk. This is under the auspices of Venture Outdoors and the Senior Connections program of the Jewish Healthcare Foundation. We are delighted to join you and to give you a little brain break at this wonderful conference. This Lift Off Pittsburgh is a tremendously innovative, stimulating program. And sometimes, though, we need to take a little break, and that's what we'd like to do with you. The Fit with a Physician Walk program has been in existence for the last 3 years. And the goal of the program is to stimulate seniors to continue to exercise, especially in the outdoors. I think, as everybody knows, whether you're young or old, there are changes that occur in our body as we age. And some of those changes can have a pretty profound negative effect on us. And one of which is with our body, with our muscles. When we don't use them, we lose them. The old move it or lose it. And so, as part of this whole program, we go back to ancient medicine, back in the Greeks and Romans, China, India, and all over the world, really. It was recognized that exercise has a very positive impact on our body. It's great for our brains, it's great for our actual physical body. And it not only helps us in terms of how we feel, but it can have a very positive impact on diseases. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take you on a Fit with a Physician walk. We'll be talking about various aspects of health, and we'll enjoy with you the wonderful treasures that are out here in Frick Park. Well, to begin the walk, I want to start by having my partners who we've been doing the program with introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Kai McCrae. I'm the new community manager at Venture Outdoors. So I just want to thank you for joining us out here. A beautiful day in Pittsburgh, always partly cloudy, enjoying the weather and the environment. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Jessie Van Swearenden, and I'm a physical therapist and a faculty member at the Department of Physical Therapy at University of Pittsburgh. And I'm here joining the walks because the same thing as my research is in keeping older adults healthy and moving and understanding how movement control enhances their performance. It's also what I teach, and so I love being out here with older adults because the reason I teach and research is because I want aging to be a performance delight and people can follow their interests and pleasures as far as they can in life. Thank you for being here.
Hello, my name is Ann Winchell. I'm a retired physical therapist and athletic trainer. I've worked in outpatient physical therapy and mostly with the older adults with sports and orthopedics. I'm a very active person myself. I enjoy exercise and I love to get people out to exercise. I also am a strength and conditioning specialist, and so I've done a lot of work in the area of conditioning and activities for the seniors. I'm very excited to be out here, and I wish that we can get a lot of you out here to enjoy our parks.
So with that introduction, we look forward to being together for this next 15 or 20 minutes and having you join us for this walk out here in Frick Park to see exactly what nature is. While we're walking, Jessie and Ann and I are going to be talking to you about the importance of exercise, and we're going to teach you something that probably you haven't thought about for years, and that is exactly how to walk. So with that, let's get started. So while we're walking, we take the opportunity to help consider really some of the important aspects of exercise. And so that's what we're going to start off with. And Jessie's going to tell us why it's important to exercise throughout our whole life.
So we have people exercise, first, it's the most modifiable factor about any disease and aging process. So exercise, everybody can do it, and we can figure out some way how somebody can. But exercise can improve your muscles. It can enhance the density of your bones. It can allow your heart to be a better pump and your circulation to deliver better blood. And it's always right there. It's just you moving. So we really like to encourage exercise. And we'll talk about ways that walking might be the perfect exercise to accomplish all of those things.
Right. All right, well, let's keep going.
So as you get older, muscles tend to get weaker, and people don't know exactly whether part of that is aging, and part of it is maybe we do a little less than we used to do, because the problem seems to be more marked in your legs than it is in your arms, and probably when we stop working and doing as much activity, that actually suffers more. So exercise can really add to building muscles again. Muscles are important because not only do they allow you to be a better performer, get out of a chair, climb stairs, but they also are a major part of the mass of the body that uses energy, and also makes that, in that respect, it actually enhances your metabolism. So not only can you eat more and not have, problematic things happen, but in addition to that, it also burns energy that would normally get stored as fat. And so having more muscles burns more energy, and also then adds to the amount of oxygen you use in the body, which enhances your cardiovascular system. So we also think that aging can be very helpful for your circulation, because one of the things, particularly when we use the muscles in our legs, we pump the blood back to our body. And when you do it to your heart, and then in addition to that, you pump it up above gravity to your head and your brain. So by the fact that you're using muscles in your legs, it's harder to get blood back to the heart normally and above the level of heart. But now the exercise, the muscles act as a pump, and they force blood back, and they allow your heart to be a better pump, and we even enhance blood to all parts of the body, including your brain. So exercise helps thinking and aging.
As we get older, we always have a tendency, due to pain, to start decreasing our activity. So we become a lot more sedentary. And being a physical therapist in outpatient physical therapy for many years, I've seen the people who are very active as compared to the people who do not do anything at all. And once you start not doing anything at all, then your body starts to deteriorate. And that's one of the things that we would like to avoid as you're getting older, is for the body to start to deteriorate and not being able to do daily activities. And I think the biggest thing right now is keep yourself active. Do not allow pain to be a guiding thing in your life, because you can still exercise with a little bit of pain. In fact, sometimes once you start exercising, that actually increases your ability to be able to do things.
So you've heard that exercise is so important. We have this process of aging that occurs, and there are changes, not in my body, but in all of our bodies. And one thing that is so important to remember is that when we age, we tend to lose muscle. And when we lose our muscles, there are a lot of very negative implications for what happens in terms of our health. And it's not good for our physical health or for our emotional health, to have our muscles be decreased. And there are ways of being able to significantly positively impact that. And that is to exercise. It's interesting when Jesse and Ann and I do these walks, and there are individuals there, we ask, what is it that happens that makes us stop exercising, stop being active, being more sedentary? And one of the biggest concerns that people have is the fear of falling. And what we're going to show you right now is how we can, with walking, have that as an exercise, how the mechanics of walking is so important. And so we're going to go over with you something that I know when I started this program, I really hadn't thought about in years, and I would bet that that would be the same with you, is how should we walk? So here we go. Jesse and Ann are going to show you.
So one of the things, believe it or not, at this point in your life, you're really experts at walking, but because you may have gotten a little more cautious, and you also, because aging changes a few things, walking changes. So guess what? We're going to teach you how to walk again. You believe that? Now walking is a skill. So just like basketball players or golfers, you have to work at your skill to keep it at that level. So one of the things we forget is to continue to practice it. So I'm actually going to teach you how to walk again. And walking is actually a very highly skilled ability, and don't worry if you're not great at first, because it only took us 7 to 10 years to get to be good at it to begin with, but then you practiced it the rest of your life. So the key thing about walking, if I put it into simplified terms, is to say, remember, walk from your feet, not from your body. So your trunk and your hips and your bottom, which is, once it's good to have those, actually are the weight that load your feet and your legs. But the propulsion all comes from your feet. So we always say it's really important to push from the foot behind, land on your heel. So the propulsion comes from your feet. And you walk from your feet. When you walk from your feet, this part here doesn't have to help you get ahead, because all of the momentum comes from the push and land on your heel. Push, land on your heel. People often talk why we see everybody walks like this. That's because, believe it or not, the hardest skill is to start walking. Start walking is really difficult. And to be honest, what most people do is sort of lean forward and catch up. The problem with that is you end up catching up forever. You're always bent like this, and you no longer can use your feet, and you get very tired. So one suggestion to make it easy to start with is take a step back. Start with the foot behind you. Make sure you're standing on it. And then think, I'm going to push the ground away to get started. So we'll let our walkers show you how they're going to do it as they go up the path.
You know, one thing we want to show, though, everybody, is something that, again, you probably haven't thought much about, and that's called your center of gravity. And this is what Ann is going to talk to you about.
Our center of gravity is in the lower abdominal area, and it needs to go right between your base of support, which is all the way around your feet. So in this position, it'll be straight down. If I'm in this position here, like when I'm walking, it should go straight down in between that base of support. A lot of people, and especially as Jesse was just saying, if you start out in this position here, that center of gravity is too far forward, and you could end up falling on your face. Or if you kind of lean back, it could be too far back and you could end up falling. So you want to keep that basis in your center of gravity right over your base of support. So when you're walking, that's why it's very important to keep yourself up straight. Keeping your ears, shoulder tips, hips, knees pretty much in the straight line.
You know, it's amazing. My mother used to say, Terry, shoulders back and stand up straight. But it's amazing when we think about our center of gravity, when we do what Jesse talked to you about, of walking that heel to toe. By doing that, it really does keep you standing up straight, and it keeps your shoulders back. And if you'll think about just the mechanics of your body, when you're leaning forward like that, your breathing, your balance, all of these different factors are really negatively impacted. So we're going to show you now how to walk heel to toe, and to help you keep your shoulders back and standing up straight.
So you should know that exercise is for everyone. So we typically say, to think about it, it's the FIT principle. It's frequency, intensity, time, type, and enjoyment. And so when we talk about that, we're thinking frequency. So let me tell you that everybody can be successful at exercise. So if you haven't done any exercise today, if you exercise once today, you increased your frequency over yesterday, okay? And when we talk about intensity, it's really the intensity that you can do. So somebody might say 60 to 80% of your heart or your target heart rate. Folks, what you have to do is say a little harder than what I normally do. So what you get up from the chair and walk to the kitchen, just when you go to exercise, think, can I walk a little faster? Can I walk twice to the kitchen, because it would be a little more intense than what you normally do. The other way to gauge it is to say that you should still be able to talk while you're walking, but you might get out of breath if you continue to talk, but only slightly out of breath, all right? Those are ways. Or we would say that you could say, this is somewhat hard. Not very hard, not really easy, but somewhat hard would probably be ideal. For everybody, that's going to be different. When we talk about type of exercise, my first comment is, when everybody asks me that, is, what's the best exercise? I say the exercise you'll do, and the one that you'll do tomorrow and the next day again. So in terms of type, but if we did talk about type, one thing that's for sure is walking might be close to ideal. And the reason it's ideal is because it's using large muscle groups, which are your legs. Large muscles actually use more energy and pump more blood in an alternating fashion, one leg after the other, and then it continues continuously, which means it also provides endurance. So you get strengthening for your legs, you get enhanced circulation, you get endurance as you walk further than you did the day before. And then the other thing is, it takes very little in equipment. Most everybody can do it. You can walk in the park, and we'll talk about the benefit of that in a moment, and enjoyment. You can walk inside your house when it's really bad. I know, folks, it might be boring, but you can walk back and forth across the living room. You can walk around the house. It's better than not moving at all. And as my brother told me that walking on a treadmill is boring, it's still good exercise. So the things you can think about, at least I'm doing something for myself and my health when I do it. And then when we talk about the time, how much should you do? Well, yes, we think that you should aim to get to something like 20 to 30 minutes, and ideally more like 40 minutes a day, most days of the week. I tell people, aim for 7 days a week, because if you actually fall off one day, you didn't miss the target of most days. So I would enhance people to do something every day. And then the enjoyment part. That's the reason why you come out to do it. Walk in a park, no matter what the time of year, there's something to look at. And that enjoyment, and you're somebody to do it with, that enjoyment is important. It's not only important for your mental health, but because there's things around to look at, and there's paths to navigate, and there's places to see, am I going to go that way or this way? You're engaging your brain in your physical activity. And people think that the most, beneficial exercise is that in which you're thinking and moving at the same time, because that's what we were meant to be. And that's the challenge of your brain, using its ability to understand the world and help you navigate through it and use your body's capacity to do that. So walking in a park provides the enjoyment and the challenge. People think you can walk when you're going down the street. You can say, I'm going to walk to that pole, and I'll do it a little faster this time. And when you walk with somebody, it's definitely a benefit. So remember, it's frequency, intensity, time, type, and enjoyment. And the last one is every bit as important, because it's probably the reason you'll do it again and again and again. And think about this, that it doesn't matter. If you're not doing 40 minutes right now, if you do a minute today, repeat it later on in the day, and then 2 days from now, do 2 minutes and take a rest and repeat it again. There's always a place for everybody to start.
Well, I'll tell you, the time passed very quickly for all of us, and we want to thank you for being with us. Hopefully to have given you a chance to allow your brain just to relax a little bit and to enjoy nature, to understand a little bit about exercise and how to keep your body fit. We want to thank the Jewish Healthcare Foundation, the Senior Connections Program, and we especially want to thank Venture Outdoors, who really oversees all of these programs, all of the logistics. So as we customarily do at the end of each walk, is we ask all of the participants to give their final thoughts. So we want to start with Kai and tell us kind of from Venture Outdoors, the perspective. A great organization.
Hey, I have to say, this is my first time at this particular part of Frick. This is really nice. There are some great places to sit and watch the water flow. You can hear the creek, the birds. You can see the leaves changing. There's lots of foliage. This is an excellent location. So thanks for joining us. I would say that my word of the day is breathtaking.
Yeah, we just wish that everybody would come out and enjoy the parks. There's something for everybody. For the beginners, there's level places. There's places that are paved. Then there's intermediate as well as some more advanced. So come out and enjoy your parks. The biggest thing is just get out and exercise.
I just want to say exactly what the other ladies have said. Walking in the park is delightful. We have a lot of parks in Pittsburgh. It's nice to meet these lovely people. Go for a walk.
So I'm the person that would walk on a treadmill and swim lanes and think it was fun until I got encouraged to come out with Venture Outdoors and meet a park. And once I met a park, it's a lifetime. I'm gonna be back forever. So come be fit with us and meet a park. It'll be your best friend.
Thank you for joining us. What a great day and a great time to be together. Have a great rest of the time for the program.